What do you get when you cross Batman's strength, athleticism, and highly intelligent strategic mind with the morals of the Joker? Well, you get this guy, aka Nemesis, who is basically Batman if Batman was a villain, and this is the first issue of his comic series. So we start off in Tokyo, Japan with a SWAT team trying to put Nemesis to a stop because he's holding their chief inspector hostage. Nemesis taunts the chief, expressing that he's a failure and saying that his men will never save him in time because their department hasn't had much luck lately. After that, the SWAT team busts through the door, only to find out that they've been tricked into breaking into a room rigged with explosives. Once all of the explosives go off, the entire building collapses onto some nearby train tracks. And then the police inspector insults Nemesis for what he's done to his men and his city before begging Nemesis to just end his life already. But Nemesis says, "Oh no, not yet. I said you were gonna die at 10:35 on that card, and the train doesn't come for another 20 seconds. To which the inspector replies, "Train? What train?" And that's when an oncoming metro speeds directly through his body, splattering his guts all over the conductor's cab. After that, Nemesis and his henchmen scoff at the inspector's death, but Nemesis says that the death toll can't be counted just yet because that train is on the same tracks that were destroyed by the building he blew up earlier, which was completely intentional and eventually leads to the death of every single person on it. After that, Nemesis's henchmen celebrate his genius and then ask him where they'll be going next. And Nemesis says America, because there's a highly skilled and regarded police chief there who he's long admired as a worthy opponent. We then transition to Washington, D.C., where said police chief, aka Chief Morrow, is blasting through some armed robbers who were trying to rob a local liquor store. After getting the job done, Chief Morrow walks outside where he's confronted by two agents that are concerned for his safety. They ask Chief Morrow if he's ever heard of Nemesis, the cop killer, and then they hand him a card manufactured by Nemesis that states the exact date and time that he will die. This prompts Chief Morrow to set up an emergency meeting with his inner circle, and he doesn't hesitate to place his wife and kids in protective custody. The story then switches over to Air Force One, where two fighter jets explode in mid-air courtesy of the one and only Nemesis. The last surviving aircraft is escorting the president, who can hear footsteps on top of the roof. So one of the president's Secret Service agents tells the pilots to tilt the plane to get them off. But it's too late because Nemesis has already reached the pilots and blasted their brains out. Nemesis then takes control of the cockpit and skims a few buildings with one of the plane's wings. Then, in an even more daring and treacherous act, Nemesis flies the plane to ground level, smashing into and killing hundreds of pedestrians before causing the plane to explode by smashing it into a gas truck and killing even more civilians. After that, we go to the near future, where Nemesis takes over all the broadcasts and tells the people of Washington, D.C. that their city will suffer and their beloved police chief, Chief Morrow, won't be able to save them because he couldn't even save their president, the most guarded man in existence. He then reveals that he's holding the president captive and says that it's time the people hail their new chief. But sadly, that's when our issue comes to an end, so let me know if you want me to cover part 2 by liking and commenting down below.